Hello, hello, hello. This is Gresham Harkless from CBNation.co. I am CEO podcast, and of course, Blue 16 Media, your choice for all your web design, SEO, and digital marketing needs. And this is the CB Nation TV Rundown for the week of October 14th, 2018. And if you have not watched, this rundown, it's just give you an idea of some quick things that I think that you should check out. So this one's going to be a little bit different because I'm expanding upon, everything I've been talking about, everything I've been doing, to something a little bit larger where I'm also going to give you some news events, and definitely a golden nugget or a quote so that you can go about your business week, and excel and kill it, for lack of a better term. So just kind of start everything out. I wanted to give you some news that we are launching what is going to be called the I Am CEO Tribe. What this tribe is, and you'll be able to go to CEO Blog Nation and be able to actually read the post. But the idea of this tribe is really to give an opportunity for like-minded individuals to come together. And the reason that I brought this up and the reason that I wanted to launch this is because I had created a council before, and this was years ago, where we kind of launched a council, but it didn't take off as much as we would have hoped. So we basically, pushed it back, and we're relaunching it back out now, in kind of a newer variety. And actually was doing a podcast, I Am CEO podcast, with Trisha Trixie, and she was saying how much she wanted to continue to provide content for us so that we can publish on her site and provide value so that we can share it off, and send it to our readers and our listeners. And I had a structured idea in place already, and I had pretty much put it in the back, and not really thought much about it until I talked with her. And I was telling her that I really been thinking about creating this community where people can interact and engage. And while she was talking about things that she wanted to be able to write for us, to be able to create content for us, to provide value, so that we had content to provide to our readers. That's where that idea kind of just came together. And we kind of had after the podcast kind of had a deep conversation around that. So that's what came about, the I Am CEO Tribe, and will come about of it is a council as well too, for having really high valued entrepreneurs and business owners that we can provide and get content from, but also can provide some really great information. So looking to really try to develop that. So you'll see all across our community, you'll be able to see, and you have the opportunity to apply for it. But that's really big content, and as a part of our CB Nation Plus content that you'll see sprinkled across our site, you'll also get that if you're a member of the I Am CEO tribe. So be sure to apply, and that's really the big thing that you want to check out. And then also, we're having events all across our community. We have an event site. If you haven't been to events.coblognation.com, definitely check that out. One event that you want to check out is the Boss Women of the Year Awards. That's over in Texas. That's literally today, which is Saturday, later on in this evening. So be sure to register for that and check that out. It's over on Eventbrite, but we have a link that goes directly from our event site to there. So if you want to go to that award ceremony, definitely make sure to do that. There will be obviously loads of great information and presentations, and of course awards for those people that are boss women, which is always good to have. And that's kind of a quick rundown. And what I'm going to do now is kind of show you some of the blog posts that I believe that you should check out across the community. The first thing that you want to check out is our post that we have on our CBNation.co, a CEO Blog Nation site. What is the I Am CEO Tribe? As I mentioned, we have our I Am CEO Tribe, so you can basically apply to the members only community. This actually has a breakdown of exactly how the website looks, the kind of walkthrough of all the benefits and everything that you'll get from applying to join. Again, you have to be accepted to actually be a member, and there is a cost to being a member, but you can get some behind the scenes information into exactly what that looks like, and how exactly that's going to come about. The next thing that you over on our Rescue a CEO site is how is a guest post on how to make a potential stay on the page of your website for as long as possible. As you probably already know, if you have a website, sometimes you can get a lot of people to your website, but to get them to stay engaged and spend time there, you really want to do that. So I thought this was a really strong post because it takes you through kind of all those different aspects. And I think starting out with understanding your purpose, which is anybody that does any type of marketing, you want to make sure that you understand your purpose, your goal, what it is that you're trying to do. And it helps you to kind of figure that out by going through this kind of step-by-step process so you can tailor your content, copy, and your design of your website to some degree on the way in which you in alignment with the goal that you have. So again, that's always valuable content because you can get 100 million people to go to your website, but if nobody stays on their website, you're going to get a high bounce rate of people going to your website and leaving. So it's important to basically understand your goal, your target. And I talk a lot about this during the CEO chat podcast, but definitely having the opportunity to create and build according and in alignment with what it is that you're hoping to do. So you want to definitely make sure you check out that blog post by Melissa. It's over on our Rescue a CEO site. And then bouncing right back to our CEO Blog Nation site, we have what is called our CB Nation Plus. And this is premium content that we provide for people that sign up, and there is a 7-day free trial. But we basically have a step-by-step video on how to create a WordPress website or a blog. So you'll be able to see from basically beginning to end exactly how you create that blog and how exactly you do that. It's about a 17-minute video. You'll only be able to see it if of course you're a member, and you can always sign up for that free trial, as I mentioned. But again, WordPress is big. It powers most of the internet. So you want to be able to understand WordPress, especially if you have a website. We have tons of videos that we provide to our clients through our CBNation.co site. But again, this is accessible to you and readily available just in case you want to create a post yourself, create a blog yourself using WordPress and you don't know exactly how to do it. You can sign up for our community and you can really get access to that video that shows you step by step. And then one of the first steps, ironically, for you to, get and set that up is to buy your website domain and website hosting. So that's why this 2-minute drill was focused on the CEO Web Shop. CEO Web Shop is affiliated with Blue 16 Media and CB Nation. We do not actually run that site. However, we are affiliated with it. So the idea is that you can go to this store, you can get domains, you can get email addresses, web hosting, SSLs, all those things that are readily available to you. And the idea is that it's a lot more of an affordable rate. So depending on what your budget is, you'll be able to go through and get your email addresses, your domain names, and all of that stuff. And the reason that I brought that up and segued is because when you are creating your blog post, you'll see in the video, we use CEO Web Shop in order for you to do that. So you want to definitely head over to there to get your domain and all that information. And then to switch gears a little bit, I feel like it wouldn't be a roundup if we didn't have it wouldn't be a rundown if we didn't have a roundup featured on it. So we had 24 entrepreneurs that share their best business tips. As you see, there's loads of great information all across this community and this blog post. And I think that the biggest thing to take away is that, there's a lot of information. There's a lot of ways to do. And I want to focus on, Dr. Jackie from No Mo Nausea. She basically talked about do then say. I think that's really powerful and resonates so much because a lot of people that are entrepreneurs and business owners, often it's all about action first. A lot of people that are entrepreneurs will say they're going to do something, but entrepreneurs and business owners, they're doers. They do things, they perform things, they make things happen. So if you're more of a doer than a sayer, then you're probably already pivoting towards possibly, being able to be an entrepreneur or business owner. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to do that because there's people that are not entrepreneurs and business owners that are doers. But you just want to make sure that you are doing that because a lot of times, you can wait for the perfect time. And I always say, don't let the perfect get in the way of the possible. So just go ahead and take action. But again, there's loads of, great content all across, this blog post. So make sure that you check this out over on Rescue a CEO, everything from, building relationships and all of that great information that you have. And then we had a guest post on how being a mom can make you a better entrepreneur. And this is important because there's a lot more, people that are able to build businesses with less than, I guess, perfect, so to speak, kind of requirements. So what I mean by that is, when you start a business, you get an office, and then you have the employees, and you have all those things. But a lot of times people will start businesses nowadays because it's become so much easier to start a business, because you've been able to create a business with certain niches, and niche focus businesses, that you are able to be a mom and start a business. And this blog post really talked about that, and how, actually being a mom actually does that, because it teaches you all these very specific skills. The best, of course, I think is there's obviously a lot of great things, but number three, not taking no for an answer. That's a really big thing for entrepreneurs and business owners, especially salespeople in general. If you've ever, tried to pitch your services, you have to make sure that you are, very ardent about what it is that you're doing, and you're not taking no for an answer. So that's very important. But there's a lot of, great information, basically 8 things. So, Rachel Pace basically provided loads of great content for us to kind of learn and remember, like, why, you can be a mom and be a better entrepreneur. And this doesn't just go for moms, of course. If you have your dads as well too, that might be playing that quote unquote mom role, they still have those same exact skills that can make them very, very successful at being an entrepreneur and business owner. And then last and final thing, as I'm talking about mompreneurs, actually had a mompreneur on I Am CEO podcast number 89 with Allison Hardy, who's actually locally based in the Washington, D.C. area, which is always fun to have people on. And she basically just talked about, how she basically built her business, how she empowers other entrepreneurs and business owners, specifically mompreneurs, to be successful at what it is that they do. So she talked about her Facebook community, all the great information. But one of the biggest things that I really loved was her CEO hack and her CEO nugget. And her CEO hack was largely, she talked about a book, The Desire Map, but she also said sometimes you just need to go to sleep. That's sometimes the biggest hack. I think a lot of times that, people that are extremely driven, especially entrepreneurs, business owners, we're always go, get as much done as possible. But we never take the time to refill our cup. We never take the time to rest. And I myself have been a victim of this. But as I get older, you start to understand that, I have to take a break and I have to take a rest. And it's not a bad thing to take a nap. It's not a bad thing to, sleep 8 hours or so on the weekend. It's not a bad thing to do these things, because of what it does is it makes you more effective and efficient when you're coming back to your work. So you can really do in an hour what might have taken, 4 hours, because you're so well rested and you're so more efficient than what you were before. And then the CEO nugget she touched on was building and creating an automated stream of passive income. Huge. Anytime you're an entrepreneur and business owner, what you want to do is make sure that you have different streams of revenue. In order to do this, a lot of times, you have to expend more time and energy. Like if you want to get a part-time job, you have to go and be at that job on a regular basis. But what she really drilled down and focused on was the idea of building a stream of revenue that's passive. So that might be, a mid-level marketing company that you're working with. But she also mentioned, it might be a shirt that you have that you want to sell, that you create a store around. So creating these passive streams of income, what it allows you to do is to be able to be prepared as life always happens, because sometimes you might lose your job. Sometimes, your biggest client might no longer want to work with you or renew with you. You want to be able to weather those storms, and the best way to weather those storms is to have streams of revenue. So streams of income. So she touched on that. It's definitely something that you want to try to keep in mind and definitely take into account. But that's basically it for everything. What I wanted to do was just leave you with my absolute favorite quote. If you have not heard me say it, it is, "Don't tell me the sky is the limit when there are footprints on the moon." And that's basically it. This is it for the rundown. And definitely let me know if there's anything I can do to help, but have a phenomenal rest of the day.